how Fortnite exploits your FOMO. I have no FOMO for Fortnite, but I can see this. I can see they've done very good marketing to keep the game Fortnite relevant for as long as it has.
Fortnite has actually been destroyed and remade twice already, but it's the first time since I started playing the game earlier this year. The core of the game has pretty much remained the same.
Yeah, it's all the
100
same
people
though, right?
drop onto an island, they scavenge weapons and items, they get pushed into the center of an ever-closing...
I mean, the problem is that the core gameplay loop just isn't that fun to me. Like, I think it's cool they keep adding new stuff, and maybe it's fun to, like... I remember the only one I jumped on for was when you could play as Thanos, jump around and be super godly when you picked up the fucking glove. That was kind of sick.
Or Last Team
People
Standing.
who like it love it. Yeah, that's
the only
everything.
significant change since 2017 has been the welcome removal of the awkward building mechanic. But everything else keeps shifting and...
Is building still gone? Dude, that's so funny. It's so funny because there are some people that put 1,000, 2,000 hours into grinding, practicing building, and now it's like...
To be honest, sick. Fortnite has probably changed more in this one update than Overwatch did in its numbered sequel. Every week, the game feels fresh enough to keep it interesting.
Wait, that's actually such a roast. Dude, that's actually such a roast and true.
And you never know what Fortnite will be like from month to month, whereas other, older multiplayer games have soon grown stale and boring. And by removing content over time, Epic has stopped Fortnite from becoming overwhelming to new players. Imagine if this current map contained 4 or 5 years worth of ideas.
Dude, that is interesting too, because I never thought about the idea of what if League of Legends took out champions? Maybe not from ARAM, maybe not from normals, but what if when you played ranked, it was like standard in Magic or whatever. You could only use the last few sets. There's just no way to, when you get to a certain number of champions, you can't balance them all, not even close. But if Fizz is not in the game, I will never play it, and I will make videos talking shit in your game. So if you do implement this, Riot, just remember that there's one champion that's exempt. That's Fizz. He's permanent. Everything else, I get it. I think it's good. I think it's smart. I just think I don't want to learn anything new, and I don't want to change. I just want everyone else to have to learn and change so they can try new things and people get into the game.
Plus, having content be limited makes it feel more special and memorable than something that's hung around forever. I've never put a game event in my calendar before, but I didn't want to miss out on the one and done.
That's cringe. I also want to say, sorry to pause, I have to do this, that I have heard of the nerdiest possible thing of all time, and it's not putting a Fortnite event in your calendar. I had lunch with Jarvis Johnson today, and Jarvis Johnson and I were talking about childhoods and things we were into and games we used to like. And Jarvis Johnson told me that when he was in middle school, he would get on the phone and play Magic the Gathering by phone with his friend, and he would cheat. He would call his friend, tell them what they're doing on each turn, and then if his friend had a better card than him, he would pretend that he top-decked the right counter. I've literally never heard of something more nerdy and terrible in my entire life. Wait, you did something worse? Yeti, what is worse than that? I'm calling Yeti right now, and he's going to tell me what he did that was worse.
Okay.
What'd you do that was worse?
You need to understand that as a child, I didn't have constant access to video games or computers or anything like that. Okay. So to circumvent this, we went through a Yu-Gi-Oh era. I created a card game using note cards. Okay. Here's the important thing.
Okay.
Not only did I cheat in the games, I also made my cards significantly stronger, and we would play in the back of our room by ourselves for like hours on end.
Wow. That's incredibly cringe. Thank you for admitting that. All right, thanks, Yeti. Appreciate that. I stole my dude. I still remember there was these fucking 3 kids when I was like fucking 9, and they were like older and they were cooler and they were in my neighborhood, and I was like, oh, those kids are cool. And they would come over to trade Pokemon cards with me, and then while one of them was talking to me, one of the other 2 would steal some of my rares out of my fucking binder. That was so cringe, dude. Finessed. Don't be shy. Dox them. You guys can go. They're like fucking. They're probably 35 now.
I can't ignore the fact that making content time-limited and impermanent, well, Epic isn't just doing that to make the game more fun. This can also be a powerful retention technique. designed to keep you hooked. Marketers have long known that advertising something as limited in time or stock can encourage people to buy stuff simply because if they don't get it right now, they may.
Watch the 3 Lines video if you want to learn more about the very basics of this concept and how marketers think about it. The 3 Lines video gives you a good mental framework.
Take the item shop. It could hold every single costume and emote that you can buy, but instead it just lists a handful of items and will refresh with new stock tomorrow. There are dozens of Reddit posts from players who feel trapped by these content treadmills in various live service games. Other players talk about feeling locked into a single game because time spent on other titles will put you behind on a battle pass or seasonal challenge. FOMO is also potentially a factor.
Bro, what you don't realize, what you really have to drill into your brain is that nobody fucking cares. Like, your skin doesn't matter to anyone else but you for 99.9999% of the time. So if you don't actually care, it's just that part of your brain likes collecting.
There are, thankfully, things you can do as a player to fight back against FOMO. For example, intentionally letting yourself miss out on something can make you realize that going without didn't actually feel as bad as you feared it might, and that can break the spell of FOMO in the future. But the most important thing to do is to simply be aware of these tactics. If you know that these tricks exist, understand how shady companies can exploit them, and acknowledge their existence in the games you play, you can stop them from subconsciously sucking you into doing stuff.
Wait, is this the dude that just fucking beefed it today? I can't wait to have the iconic Harry Kane fucking blunder. Fear of missing out. Yeah, just fear of missing, bro.
If so, play something else. And
the games that are worse at this, way worse at this than like Fortnite, are really MMOs. I'm excited, but I'm very nervous at the amount of people who are going to have their life ruined by the League MMO. It's like, it's going to happen. It's going to literally people are going to fall off the grid.
Hey.
It's not just FOMO too. Like, MMOs have the triple crack because what our brains really love is progression. We love putting in effort and always seeing a reward. If you get that feedback loop where I put in 3 hours and I get 3 hours worth of reward, that feels fucking great. And real life doesn't have that at all. There's many chances you could work and not get immediate reward or delayed or not at all. And so our brains don't like it that much. And we love putting in, 8 hours of progression and getting 8 hours of progressive reward. And so MMOs are very good at drip feeding you constant. And the thing about MMOs, it's the worst. It's way worse than like a ladder. Is that if I put in 8 hours of work in League ranked or whatever, you can flatline. If I'm not actually getting better, I can just flatline. I'm not going to get actual reward. But if you put in 8 hours of time into an MMO, you always get stronger. And that's why they're so dangerous, because it can hit anybody. Anybody who doesn't have any skill or any read, they just put time in, and then they always get better outcomes. Your brain's like dumping the chemicals. It's like, yes, this is all good. This is all good, bro. Everything is going great. You are crushing it right now. All of your time is killing it. You're rising up the fucking social ladder. Your brain fucking loves it. And MMOs are crack on that. They do a good job. It's going to be a real issue.